Hello and welcome back to Photoshop for Presentations. I'm your instructor Dan Hood, and this is the last lesson in Unit 4, which covers using Photoshop for PowerPoint presentations. And in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to use the different graphics that we talked about and learned about in this unit and how to apply them to a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to put together a simple three-panel, three-slide PowerPoint presentation to give you that demonstration by using the background graphic, the impact graphic, and the conceptual graphic that were described earlier and how to produce them. So let's see, the first thing we'll do, as you can see, I'm in PowerPoint here and I have one blank slide. So since I said that I'm going to do a three-slide presentation, I'm going to go over here to the sidebar. I'm going to go through the steps for PowerPoint pretty quick because this is more of a Photoshop class and not a PowerPoint class. So if you need help with PowerPoint, I suggest taking another class in the series, I believe, which deals directly with PowerPoint and how to get the most out of it. Anyway, so let's see, here we are with the slides. So I come over here and I'm going to right click and I'm going to say new slide, and I can do it up here too, I just realized, and new slide. So now I have 3 slides. So let's go back to our first slide. And so the first thing we want to do with slide number 1 and with all of the other slides is that we want to apply a background graphic to every one of these slides. So let's go over here. In Windows, it may be just a little different in layout than it is in Mac. I am used to using PowerPoint on a Mac more than I am in Windows, but all of the same functionality should be there. It's just unfortunately things may be arranged a little different. So let's go ahead and we will just right click on our slide and it says format background. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go and we're going to format our background. Come over here where it says format a picture or texture. From file, that's what we want to do. And let's choose picture. Let's go to our photos or images that we have developed in the past for the different background graphics, the impact graphics, and the conceptual graphics that we did earlier. And let's see, let's find our background, and I believe there it is, background JPEG, if you remember that we created this in one of the earlier lessons. So let's go ahead and we'll insert this, and as you see it inserted it here, and you can see it, and it looks just how we were hoping it would. Now let's go to apply to all, because if we just go apply, it's only going to apply it to that first slide. So if we apply it to all, as you can see here, it has applied it to every one of our slides. So now we have our background image that we can use for all of our slides, and as you can see, it does really do a nice job because it leaves a big open area in the middle for you to add your titles and your subtitles and your charts and other photos or pictures that you would want to add. So anyway, let's go ahead and we will give this short slide presentation a title. We will call this, let's see, our how about our offerings. Alright, and so there we have that. We can get rid of this down here. So that is going to be our opening slide. Now let's go to slide number 2, and this is where we're going to include an impact graphic. So first thing, let's go ahead and let's give this a title. We will call this, how about our threat? And you'll see what that means in just a second. So as you can see right now, since this is on a dark background, I'm going to change this to a light colored text. And let's see, we'll go to Format and go to Text Styles, and we'll change it right there. So that looks a lot nicer. Now we have this big text box that was already created as far as the template goes. And we'll go ahead and we will insert a picture right here. It says insert picture from file. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to go find our impact graphic that we made for this particular situation. And if I remember, the impact graphic we created was basically like a wanted poster for this guy here. Alright, and it inserted it really large. So it really wasn't supposed to do that. I'm not quite sure why it did that. But the good thing is that we can scale this down to a size that's more suitable. Yeah, so I just clicked the resize, and that resized it for that box, which is great. Now, oh, we didn't want to do that though. Now let's move him over to the edge here, and we will just add some text. And we'll say this is Cowboy Bill. And Cowboy Bill is our greatest threat. So let's just move this over a little bit to get it closer. And as you can see, there is how you would use an impact graphic. You would usually have your impact graphic on a slide and with some text next to it. Okay, so now the last thing we'll do is we'll go to our last slide and we'll put in the conceptual graphic. And let's go ahead and let's do it a different way. I don't like doing it that way. It seems a little backwards in my opinion. So let's go ahead and we'll say insert picture, picture from file. And for this conceptual graphic, we are going to use the ghosted cowboy boots that we created in an earlier video and lesson, and we'll go ahead and insert. Okay, so it inserted them. Actually, I want to backtrack for a second because I picked the wrong graphic, and actually this ties in a little bit to what I had to discuss earlier in the lesson about the conceptual graphic, when in the first video I saved it out as a JPEG, and then I had to go back in a supplemental video and talk to you about not saving it as a JPEG but actually saving it as a PNG with a transparent background. And this is actually, it was kind of a happy accident because I wanted to show you this anyway. Is that this what happens when you save something as a JPEG, is that it fills in your background even if you want it to be transparent. Since it's a JPEG and doesn't support transparent backgrounds, it will save it as a white background. And as you can see, that's exactly what it did here. Even if I scale it down and try to put it into my slide, you will see that it'll always have a white box around it, which isn't very attractive. And I will show you the other way to do this by inserting a PNG as opposed to the JPEG and how much nicer it looks. So let's go ahead and we'll insert a picture from file, and this time we'll choose the correct file, which is Cowboy Boots PNG. See right there it says PNG, and this is going to insert our graphic with the background cut out or transparent. So when I scale that down, you can see that makes for a much nicer graphic. It's ghosted, but it also has the transparent background that we were hoping for. And so it lets your background, your big background image show through. So in this case, then let's say we'll call this Cowboy Boot Styles. and we'll go back and we will format this text to white. I actually got to move it over a little bit too because it's running into our logo. That's better. And then down here we're going to add a little bit of text here. And we want that text to say, let's say this is traditional, sorry for my bad typing skills, traditional style boots. Those look to me to be traditional styled boots. And let's go ahead and let's increase the font size by quite a bit so I can show you another aspect of this. Is that now with your conceptual graphic, the reason that we made it into a ghosted graphic really is for the reason of that if we wish to, we can overlay text or shapes or anything on top of your conceptual graphic. It all ties together very nicely, and the graphic doesn't overpower your message in your text or graph or chart that you want to insert, and it all works together very well. So as you can see, let's go back and just do a quick overview. Here we're using our background image that we created, and it goes continuously across all of our slides as a background image. And what's nice about that is that it brands the whole slide and gives it the same consistent look. Then here you use the impact graphic by showing a graphic that is used for one slide but to hammer home one particular point. In this case, this slide talks about our threat and who that threat is, and by name, his name is Cowboy Bill, and he is our threat, and he is a bad man, and we wanted to convey that by having a huge impact graphic here next to him. The third slide is, once again, we have our big background slide that we created that looks really nice, and then we also used a conceptual graphic, inserted a conceptual graphic into the background that we can lay text over and other things, but use this in several slides to talk about different aspects of that concept. So that's how you would use the conceptual graphic. Alright, I hope this has been informative and gives you some good ideas on how to make your PowerPoint presentations more attractive and more engaging. And if you have any questions about this or other ideas or thoughts about how to use these sorts of graphics, let me know and we'll talk through them and see if we can come up with a solution or an answer for you. Thanks for watching.